What are common lies that women tell in online dating? I find the opposite applies to the main callouts in their profile. So if they specifically call out that they don't ghost or play mind games, then they most likely do. They just call it a different name in their minds. Protecting my peace and vetting for confidence are common phrases. I understand protecting my peace, but what does vetting for confidence mean? How is that done? I don't know why I'm on here. I do. Either you want a relationship, to fuck, or attention. There's no other reason to be on these apps. She's filling some emotional need she's not self-aware enough to even realize exists. No, she is not mature enough to admit it, maybe even to herself. There's a difference. That they love hiking, when in reality they kinda liked hiking that one time they went a couple years ago when they got some cool pics for Insta. As an avid hiker slash nature guy, I feel this. Granted, I married her, but when I met my wife she said she liked hiking and camping. What she meant were leisurely walks around a lake and sleeping in a camper with all the amenities. What I mean is hoofing it 4 miles and sleeping in small tents lol. Then there's the social media component. I have very few pictures from my hikes. Only if it was something particularly cool, like the one time I was like 10 feet from a snowy rabbit, or the time I caught otters floating. That kind of thing. The amount of pictures of nothing people take is so interesting. I hate drama. If they say this, they're the drama. If you're walking down the street and meet an asshole, they're probably an asshole. If you're walking down the street and everyone you meet is an asshole, you're the asshole. If it smells like S everywhere you go, check the bottom of your shoe. Or you live in Paris. All pictures are old or filtered. Even better, only group photos and you have to guess which one is her. Matched with a girl who only had one photo. There were 2 girls in that photo. Asked her if she's offering a threesome. Turns out the other girl was married and not even in the country. Why would you upload photos like that? Only one where she didn't see herself as fat maybe? Or maybe she is too embarrassed to take her own pictures and doesn't have many friends to take her picture, so she uses that one. I'm not a man, but I will say that the most dramatic, petty and emotionally fragile women I know love to put "I hate drama" in their profile pictures. What they mean is that they want to be the only ones dishing out drama, but they can't tolerate being the target of it. I'm married, but when I get to play Tinder on my male friends' profiles, that piece of info is an automatic red flag. Everyone's always so dramatic. It's you. You're the common theme. Inability to recognize oneself as the common denominator to consistent social problems is one of the biggest red flags I look for in any new person I meet. I always thought at some point my peers would be grown-ups who exhibit grown-up behavior like responsibility for their choices and actions. How naive I was. A babe in the woods lol. Unfortunate. It's sad as you get older and realize some people never grow up or live in a real world and take accountability for their choices and actions. Communication is so important. Then she ghosts. Got this. I'm just gonna say 95% of my hookups and one night stands have come from profiles that say no hookups or one night stands. I put not here for hookups on my profile and never had more hookups than when I did that. I'd like to hear more on this. It's very true. I've heard this from many friends. Even worse. Sometimes the sex talk and hookup is initiated by the same women who haven't their bias no ons or hookup. LMAO, I agree. Quite a few women with no hookups in their bias bring up hooking up either on the date or before it, and we end up sleeping together. Lying about age seems common where I'm from. My profile says 28, but I'm actually 55. I don't know how that happened. Just remake your account. The worst is I'm actually 24. But I made my account when I was 16 so that's why it's not my actual Argo woman. Just make a new account then. It's really not that challenging. And good to know you've been slinging on Tinder for the last 7 years. This all really makes me feel great about potentially dating you. They lie about wanting relationships then ask for roses. There's a lot of sex workers on dating apps. Roses is basically an online prostitution in America. Sending roses is code for cash payments. They do this to get around filters on sites where solicitation is banned. I don't know why I'm here. A good book, a nice glass of wine, and a conversation that sweeps me off my feet. I love spontaneity, hiking, walks, traveling. The world is our oyster. It's very rare to ever meet someone who matches that. It quickly falls back on the man to provide the 5 W's. 5 W's? The 5 W's are who, what, when, where, why. It's a common term in journalism to describe the basic element of a story, and the person you're responding to is using it to suggest that women expect men to figure all of those out in terms of the plan for a date. You mean the 6 W's? Wealth was left out. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Lol no. This translates to, I can't regulate my own emotions. I will behave in ways you wouldn't want me to, but then lose my mind if you adopt the same behavior. All my exes are toxic, and it was an abusive relationship. I still talk to all my exes who have traumatized me. Anytime there are boundaries, you're insecure. You will literally ask, would you like it if I did this? They will always say no, but for some reason still did it. The relationship is always flooded with double standards. She will always say, you'd be so bored without me. They're cool with meeting up for coffee, but then they actually don't. Because they're actually burnt out with dating, but they don't know how to say so. Ladies, us guys are just as burnt out. But if we don't keep trying, we'll never meet anyone. Gotta keep trying if you really want to meet someone good. Edit, as some people suggested, and I wholly agree with. It's a wonderful idea to take a break from dating if you feel burnt out. And feeling burnt out is 100% valid and understandable. You gotta do what's best for you. At the end of the day, I like your comment, but would like to add some advice. If you're burned out from dating, it's okay to take a break from it. Sometimes just taking a break and enjoying life before re-entering the activity that is causing burnout can help provide a new and more positive perspective. Dating can be exhausting and frustrating even before burnout, but it gets even worse and can feel like a chore. When you get burned out, you're going to dread going on the date, and ultimately the date is likely going to be an unsuccessful date and potentially miserable for both parties. I mean, have you done an activity with someone who doesn't want to be there and you had to drag out of the house to go? It can really suck the energy out of you. This applies to a date as well. So if you, and anyone reading this post, feel this way, take a break. Come back when your energy has been restored. Even if you don't have a great date, it won't weigh you down as much as when you're burned out. And I hope for the ladies that you're referring to this post, I hope they're able to admit that they're burned out from dating and can take a break themselves. For their sake and the sake of anyone they date. Lol. I've been on a bunch of online dates in recent years. More than anything else, the pics are almost always misleading with rare exceptions. I've had women ironically breathe a sigh of relief and say, I'm so glad you look like your pics, even though they themselves do not. I took some photos a week before getting a match. When we met, she said I didn't look like my week-old photos. She definitely did not look like her photos. They are good communicators, but will leave you unseen. I'm down to earth. No, you are up in space around Pluto. In space up Uranus. Don't worry about him. He's just a friend. So that was a ref lie. I'm not still salty. What? Bro. Bismarcky died, and you can't even honor his wisdom? Oh baby, you got what I need. So please listen to the message that I send. Don't ever talk to a girl who says she just has a friend. I think misrepresenting how they actually look in real life by using heavily doctored or filtered photographs counts. I met a woman once, and when she approached me, I had no idea who she was. I said sorry, I'm waiting for someone, and she said it's me. Then she was put off by my reaction to her. They have video filters now, so you can't even verify with a video call. It's insane. We always read profiles before swiping. Nope, I'm a sapiosexual. The word salad of a profile would indicate that you're attracted to your opposite. If that's the case, I'm only attracted to people of my own level of intelligence, which is really low. Hell yeah, we bout to get stupid. I bet I can outdrink you 30 shots in. Checkmate Becky U0001F971. Most of my friends are women and honestly, I feel bad when they try keeping up with me. Visited one in DC last February and we went to a German beer hall. Thing that kept me back was I had to pee like a fiend at a certain point. Thing that kept her back. Well, okay. She was texting me that she had a massive headache and had been puking the whole night through when we were going to meet for brunch in the morning. I usually don't do this on a first date. Gluck gluck gluck. I heard the sound when I read this. Not actually single. Dudes obviously do that too. Got a girl home from a Tinder match once. Had me tie her up Shibari style on my bed. And right about then I have a boyfriend K. Cool. So anyways, one time thing. Funny thing. I saw them together a few months later, though I'm assuming it was the same relationship and she hadn't switched already. Who the F even knows anymore? Cool. So give me his number and I'll let him know to untie you later. See ya. Apostrophe. Shoot you shot and then they get scared as soon as you get your gun out. Well yeah. Seeing as how the term comes from basketball and not guns lol. And yet they get scared when I get my balls out and dribble a little. The way to my heart is communication or making me laugh or honesty. If this were true, there would be no women on dating apps. I was going to say this. Seeing the phrases make me laugh, honesty and communication is like a sword stroke to my eyes. So low effort and literally says nothing about them as a person. Plus it's not true. I'm a down to earth type of person. Translation. She escaped from hell. And the devil himself doesn't want her back. Edit. He lit her way. Along with signs saying, this way out. Sent a couple of his demons to guide her. And he hasn't heard from those demons in 3,000 years. Oh well. When you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the floor, Satan says oh no, she's up. I'm super outdoorsy. They fail to mention that it's only hanging out on a beach in perfect weather. Rain, cold, other outside activities. Now let's stay inside. They don't have sex on the first date. If it says that sex is guaranteed 90% of the time, it really is a telltale sin. My ex said she wanted a connection before we had sex, and we ended up sleep with each other on the first day of meeting. It really is a telltale sign /r/bony tier. Holy yes, I have been saying that for years without ever knowing it was telltale. My friends made me sign up or here on a dare. I don't check this app very much. Add me on some other platform. I hate this shit. I don't know if it's a lie, but I've noticed most chubby/overweight girls will usually only use headshots and not show you the full picture of what they look like.